talk a little bit about your upcoming season?
Sure. The upcoming season has been a little bit delayed. I don't know if you've noticed, we've been away for a little while. We're coming back in very early 2012. I think it's January, maybe February, but it won't be any later than that. It's just sort of the way the cookie crumbled this year with the scheduling of the channel and with our trip and our travels. We're normally off the air for 3 or 4 months at a time. Syfy has this kind of nasty habit of ordering all their shows in 2 pieces. So each season kind of comes back for a little bit and goes away and then comes back again. So we will be back with new episodes, as I said, hopefully in January. There are 7 new episodes that have been shot and are ready to air, and they're great. We spend a bit of time in Central America. There's a great episode at Tikal in Guatemala where we kind of get the run of this amazing ruins of Tikal, which is a great episode. We will be in Sweden for the first time. Great stories there. We go to Kazakhstan in Central Asia, which is actually a very fun couple of stories. Kazakhstan is a place that not a lot of folks know outside of Borat, really. And by the way, they do not like that joke there. That did not go over well. But it's an amazing culture, amazing place that doesn't get showcased very much, so we'll be there for a bit. We do our first ever follow-up episode. We've never returned to a place in the show, and we asked folks, we just looked at all of our viewer mail and feedback on the episodes that people wanted to see us go back to, and overwhelmingly people wanted to see a return to either the Island of the Dolls in Mexico, which we haven't done that one. We're going to hopefully do that next time, but we go back to the forest in Romania. It's the other one we hear a lot about it. So our cameraman Evan, who had a really terrifying experience there, we coaxed him to come back again. So we go back to the forest in Romania next season, which is a lot of fun. We go to Fiji for the first time. Managed to sneak that one in there. Famously haunted Fiji. And it's a great season. So there's great episodes to come. We're already, our wheels are already turning on where to go after that. So I hope there won't be as much of a gap next time. Thanks for the patience.
Did you ever figure out what that alien chicken thing was?
Right.
What was that?
We get so many questions about that. It's so frustrating because I don't have an answer. We've showed it to a lot of different people. The truth of the matter is that the specimen itself couldn't leave the country. I couldn't get them to, because it was like a rotting carcass, right? I couldn't get them to put that on an airplane with me. So it was photographed, 8 ways from Sunday. People think that it's not a chicken. There's a lot of sort of anatomical elements of it that don't look like a bird. I don't know. A couple of people have made a guess that it might be a cow, a fetal cow, or an alien. The jury is still totally out.
Do you have a favorite episode?
A favorite episode for me? It's Antarctica, just because it was the most challenging to film. It was the hardest show for us to make. We normally are a very small crew anyway, and we had to pare it down even smaller to fit on that tiny boat that we took down there. So for me, it was the hardest episode to shoot in the most difficult conditions, and it's just a great trip, and it's again an opportunity to showcase a part of the world that doesn't get seen very often. So for me, that's what I was doing.
Do you have a place or a
There's lots of places that I still want to go that we haven't been able to do yet. There's a lot of great cryptid stories in Central Africa, but for various reasons, some of those countries are a little bit difficult to film in. We have not been to India yet on the show. We would love to do stories in India. It's a place that just feels like a great natural fit for Destination Truth. It's a challenging travel destination. I've pitched Iraq several times to the channel. They laugh in my face every time. Haunted Saddam's Palace does not go over well. To the channel. Pitched the Titanic, too expensive. There's lots of places I'd love to go. We haven't been to Tibet yet. I'd love to, again, building the Himalayas, I'd love to kind of go over on the other side and go over to Tibet. So, it's amazing. We've traveled in the last 4 or 5 years. My team and I have been to almost 100 countries, but that's still less than half of them. There's almost 200 countries in the world. So, a lot of places still to go. Sir?
Would you ever go to Alcatraz with your team and not the ghost hunters?
I don't think they let me. We try to draw a pretty clear delineation between Ghost Hunters and GHI and Destination Truth, and we're always asking ourselves, does this feel like a Ghost Hunters episode? Does this feel like a GHI episode? One of the things that we always try to highlight in Destination Truth is the travel element, and I think that doing a trip to Alcatraz would probably, it doesn't quite meet the criteria, I think, for a DT episode. We always try to divide our shows evenly between the investigation and also that travel, that getting there, portion. So I don't think we would. Finding stories in the U.S. is a bit of a challenge. We always want to go to places, if we're going to do something domestically, that still feels like you're kind of getting into the unknown, you're getting to a place you haven't seen before.
As a piggyback to the question previously, is there any place that you have not been to yourself that you really want to go to?
Yeah, lots of places. I have the luxury now of kind of, looking for stories of places that I want to go. For me, there are a lot of parts of Europe that I have never traveled to. I have some weird gaping holes in my travel. For a guy who travels for a living, there are some places that I haven't been to that are surprising. We've never been to Paris, which is a more common travel destination. So I'd love to do more stuff in Europe. I'd love to do some more stories in Eastern Europe. We haven't spent much time there. Tibet, as I said a minute ago, is a place I've always wanted to see. Lots of places.
Is there one place where you thought you got the closest to finding the truth about one of your legends than the other?
Yeah, look, I think that the footprint that we found in the Himalayas, there's another great piece of physical evidence we find this year in a story in Vietnam, have not really been adequately explained, so I do feel like we've been close to finding something. I think the question sometimes is it the thing that people think it is, or is it something else? And so I think in a lot of cases we feel like we found the answer, which is this is folklore, this is a bear, or this is some other known thing. So I think a lot of cases I feel satisfied at the end that we kind of know what it is. In terms of the ones that we can't close the book on, some of these mystery primate stories, there are a few in which I feel like there is kind of heat on the story, there is something that might be there. I don't know about Bigfoot necessarily, but there's one in Indonesia that a lot of people have seen, a lot of credible scientists have seen, and it may turn out to be some species of orangutan or something, but I do think that some of those primate stories probably are the ones in which we've gotten closest to getting good tangible evidence. We've found some good DNA in a few cases. What's up, buddy? Right there.
When you saw that fish monster?
Say it again.
When you saw that fish monster?
When I saw the fish monster?
In season 2.
Which one? In season 2.
Fish monster, like a river monster. He's been.
River monster.
Yeah, he likes watching the episode all the time, over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah, all of the river monster stories and lake monster stories are terrifying to me. That's true. Because I always believe that people are seeing something in the water, and whether it's a river monster or a crocodile or a huge snake or whatever it is, it's ridiculous to get in the water. Those are the ones that scare me the most. So I think what I'll do is I'll sit down and start signing things, and if you have other questions that come up, I'll do my best to answer. Sound good?
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.